Hey, I'm Patrick with Rowdy Restorations. Today, we got the Oliver Grove tractor in the shop. Hopefully you guys saw the first episode of this tractor and when we went and picked it up at Farmer John's place and got it back home. We did get it running in that episode, but just barely. So I've got the carburetor kit here and stuff for it. It's been a few weeks since we got it home. Finally was able to get it pushed into the shop here. We're going to go ahead and get the carburetor pulled off. Try to get that rebuilt. I know the exhaust manifold needs to get done, but my main goal for right now is to get the carb rebuilt, get electronic ignition put in it, check out what we got going on with the brakes, and just get it to where it'll crank reliably. Then we can start doing some research and find out about that exhaust manifold. And we need to study on the exact configuration of how these Orchard tractors exhaust was set up here. I'm pretty sure they would have had a smooth bend pipe. I've seen some that come out and go back and some that just curve and go straight down. So we're going to have to look into that. So stay tuned. All right, well, let's get this carburetor pulled off here first, I reckon. I guess I probably need to do an oil change on it too. I know it's sat outside a lot. You can probably tell on the decals up here how the edges are rolled up and stuff. Probably gonna need a choke cable too. I might be able to lube it up and get it working, but it wasn't working right. What was the other interesting thing on this? Oh, I didn't see that. I wonder why. I was wondering why there was nowhere to drain this carburetor. And look at the bottom of it, how it's been completely brazed up. Alright, well, we actually got a clean bench over here. I cleaned this off the other day. We'll take and crack this carburetor open and let the rest of the gas drain. A little bummed out about that bottom of it all being brazed up. But, oh well. Take this jet out. Seems like, oh yeah, no, there it is. Got the rest of the gas out of there. But he's got the wrong screw in there too. Might have to look through my junk and see if I can find one of those. I don't know if you guys can see down in there or not, but there we go. Little bit of rust and build up down in there for sure. I'd say the needle was definitely sticking on this thing. Oops. I don't hear any fluid in there. I always shake these floats up to my ear to make sure there's no fluid in there. This thing looks like it's been crushed, but doesn't seem to be an issue. Can't hear nothing. Looks like it might have been a little bit rusty where the down there in the seat. So that probably contributed to it sticking. Yeah, so hopefully you guys can see this stuff good enough. I've got a light up behind me, but my dang LEDs on the ceiling of the shop back here are burnt out. So if you know anybody that, if you know good LEDs, let me know. Or if you're a LED light company and you want to sponsor us, yeah, that would suit me fine too. Got to do something. There's that. Well, stuff's coming apart so far. So I usually take and get me a clean paper towel and lay that out, even though the bench is clean for once. I'm going to take the throttle shaft out because I'm going to put some new O-rings on the throttle shaft. It has a lot of play on it. I'm not quite cool enough to be able to machine new bushings in there myself, but I've had pretty good success with just throwing some new seals in. So you can see that play up and down right there. Makes a big difference on one when you try to rev it up. See, the seal's completely shot. So I should have the stuff in the kit that I got from Morgan to be able to do that. A lot of grit and build up in there. I didn't grab a wrench for that. I don't need one. got that all pulled apart. I think I'm going to go ahead and pull this choke out too, because it's kind of sticky. See if we can't clean the years of varnish up off of it. It started moving. Okay. There it goes. And like I said, it varnished up. Oh man. No, it's stuck. There it goes. Alright. Yeah, good thing we pulled that out. Look at the back side of that. Get all that mess cleaned off of there. Oops. Gotta be careful with the springs on there. Okay. Now we just got to get that main jet out of there. Well, that'll cause it to not run good. Maybe it was just a bubble of fuel on there. It looked like that one jet on the bottom of the accelerating well was plugged up there, but it might have just been fuel on it. Not too bad. Okay. There's a jet way down there in the bottom. That screwdriver fits it good. One thing I have never found is a screwdriver that actually fits these properly. You probably saw me a second ago fiddling with 2 screwdrivers, and that's what I've always done, is just use 2 screwdrivers to take these out, but I need to find me a screwdriver that fits that correctly, or make one or something. Seems like these channel lock screwdrivers fit down into the carburetors pretty good to get these little jets out, better than some of the other ones I've messed with before. Alright, so got everything apart. I'll rinse it out with some carburetor cleaner just a little bit, get some of the really nasty stuff off of it, and then we'll put it in the bead blast cabinet and clean it up. Still bummed out about that. I'll just go ahead and I'll get this carburetor all cleaned up and working since I don't really feel like hunting the bottom part now and waiting on it to get here. And then I'll find me a new, I'll keep my eye out at the shows for a new carburetor for it. Pretty good job. Probably find some paint. I like to tape these things up just to detail them out a little bit, but then we'll find some paint and spray a little bit of paint on there. I'll blow it all out first. Rinse it with carburetor cleaner again. Make sure everything's out of there. Be careful here on this stuff too. Hopefully I didn't lose anything, but there's the spring, so we're probably fine. I'll hit that with the wire brush a little bit. Probably have a new throttle jet. Okie doke. Let's get these parts, these steel parts that need some paint on them. Let's get those cleaned up and get them get some paint sprayed on them tonight. And then that way tomorrow we can put the carburetor together. Should probably put some safety spectacles on for this. I'll spray myself in the face. See if we got any paint in here. Well, got plenty of John Deere green. I guess I could paint it John Deere green. Maybe it would run better. Yep. That'll get the Oliver guys going. Alright, well, I don't even have any Hunter green, so guess what? Gloss black it is. Which flavor? This one, because it's already open. At least I've got some decent lighting in here. Go ahead and put a little bit of rust prevention on it, I guess. Well, it's a few days later, finally getting back to putting this thing together. You know how it is. One thing comes up and then another thing comes up, and next thing you know, all your time's gone. Darn. Really slacking on the paint right there. Oh man. Should have had the carburetor kit over here before I rebuilt it. Went through all the trouble of cleaning this up and throwing some paint on it, and I have a new one. Oh well. Might not be. Oh, yep. There we go. I'll even be able to use the new one. So, added bonus. Needle and seat. Here it is. That should be the Alright, looks like we've got all the stuff for the throttle shaft, so we'll pop that out. Pop that little washer out, clean that up. even without machining it, look at how much better just having that seal in there and that new bushing, or that new seal retainer, whatever you want to call it. It's a lot better off than it was. Okay, and we have new screws for the throttle plate with lock washers, so I'm not going to worry about Loctiting these since they have new lock washers. When we do the choke, we'll probably throw some Loctite on those ones because those will be used. Come with a new idle jet. Yep. Oh man. Look at that. Probably won't be able to finish tonight anyways. I'll have to throw some paint on that. That's okay. It's getting late. The idle jet in. In fact, Rowdy's pacing in circles in here. He's ready to go to the house and get supper. Alright, so I always snug them up and then back them out 1.5. So 1.5. It's just usually a good starting point. The carburetor. Let's see here. That is the. Oh, I've got two little guys. Oh, that's a plug. One of these little guys. Goes in here. So as far as the float goes, they give you measurements and everything. I usually just try to make sure it's level. I've had pretty good luck with them when they're just sitting level. And that one is. So I'd say I'm gonna throw a coat of paint on that little bracket that I forgot about the other evening. And we are ready to put it together as soon as I have a coat of paint on that. So stay tuned, guys. We'll be back. All right, well, paint's dry. It's actually the next day. I didn't let too much time pass. Get this put back on here. All right, well, luckily I'm recording everything for you guys now, because I was having a brain cramp on which way this choke plate went in. But I went back and looked at the footage, and my gut instinct was actually correct for which way it went in, so that was good. Looks like those holes will line up in there now, hopefully. These have lock washers on them, but I'm still going to put a dab of Loctite since they're used lock washers. Never had an issue with it, but they say if these screws escape the carburetor and go into the motor, it makes for a bad day. And I believe they are correct on that. I've heard stories of that happening. Never had it happen on anything of mine, thankfully. Actually, you know what? I say that. I remember back in the day, I had a Kohler motor I pulled apart, old K-Series Kohler. And lo and behold, one of the screws out of the carburetor was stamped into the top of the piston. Didn't hurt anything, really. It ran. Oh, yeah. Didn't destroy it. Let's just say that. But, all right, choke's working. Did the rest of the stuff last night on it. So my guesstimation on the float level, hopefully that's okay. Like I said, I didn't bother to measure it. Now we gotta get that darn Venturi to line up. Beginning to wonder if I've got that in the right direction. No. I had it in upside down. Okay. Take two. And getting the Venturi to line up. Ah, there it goes. Very nice. I had also said I was going to hunt down the correct screw to replace that one oddball screw. Yeah, I didn't do that. All right. I'll need a new Carter key. Well, I'll get you guys relocated over by the tractor. We'll get this put on. Oh, and hey, in case you've noticed in the background, upcoming project right there. It's actually my buddy Ben's motor, but I'm hauling it back to him from Classic Green. Been a few days. But we're going to see if we can make this old pony motor run first before I bring it back to him. I thought that'd be a cool little video for you guys. All right, well, we're back over here at the tractor now. Got you guys resituated. Got some lights set up. Hopefully it looks okay for y'all. My lighting in my shop is not too good right now. It has a lot of the LEDs have burned out. I need to upgrade the LEDs. Okay, apparently that is moving. I was worried about that because it didn't want to move the other day, but I think that was on account of the choke itself, not on the cable. So let's get this bad boy put back in here. Ow. That cotter pin's about 10 times longer than it needs to be. Like I said a little bit earlier, or in the last video, we are not restoring this yet. So I'm gonna let a little bit of stuff slide for now. You know what I just got thinking? Nice to get the oil changed, but I don't think that'll happen today because it's Sunday and I don't have an oil filter ordered for it yet. There we go. Bring that Carter key back a little bit. Well, let's turn the gas on and see what we got. I hear it going in there, so hopefully it doesn't come flowing out. All right, let's see if she'll get started up here. How much? And then if all that goes good, maybe we'll do the ignition today. Choke. Hopefully I unhooked the battery, guys, because it is dead. D-E-D. Oh, man. The battery is hooked up. No, I have lights. Wow. Oh yeah, let's see. I got a headlight and a dash light. It's this stinking switch up here in the dashboard has gone bad. Probably from all the excessive cranking we did on it the other day. Listen to that. The choke actually did its job. She's idling down. I like it. You know, I didn't pay no attention to this the other day, but up here on the dashboard, the gauges don't look too good. Oh, there it goes. It took a while for it to build oil pressure. Ooh. All right. That is running a whole lot better than it did the other day. Obviously, we're gonna have to order some more parts though. That push button is messed up, and let's get up here and, you know, I haven't even checked the coolant or anything in it yet. There's traces of something in there. I do believe it might just be rusty water. I'll get the checker out because we are rapidly approaching wintertime up here in the mountains. Remember, this tractor is from Florida. Well, Abby, want you to look at that. It must be red coolant. Good job, guys. DJ and Eddie, that is. And Dale for telling them to put coolant in it, or antifreeze in it. I was fully expecting that to just be dirty water. But, I mean, I guess the tractor, if it sat out at Flywheelers, it gets below, well, not below zero. It gets below freezing. Let's check that one more time. If it quit pulling so much air in there. Yep. Still showing good to minus 45. Maybe the fact that it used to have a cracked block and it was kind of a tall tell that it needed to have antifreeze in it, because the tractor did come from Florida and it had a cracked block. So, but that's a good sign. So it needs a little bit more coolant, but it does not need to be changed at the moment, I don't think. All right. What do you say we check out putting electronic ignition in this bad boy? I guess we'll get this side panel off and see if I actually want to put electronic ignition on it or not. I bought it, so I might as well. But I'm gonna have to do a little bit of ciphering. All right, well, I thought I was missing some stuff at first when I unpacked this, but on this electronic ignition setup, I guess I'm used to the old 2-cylinder John Deeres, and you have to put a magnet sleeve over the shaft on the distributor. You do not have to do that on these motors. This is all you need right here. So I'm going to check a couple things before I get too in depth here. And one of them is going to be the resistance on this coil. And then I'm also going to check to see which wire is which too. I believe this wire right there that I just took loose should be the wire that's going over here to the distributor. We'll turn on our ohms. All right, so I'm reading 3.8 there. I was reading 0.8 with nothing. Yeah, so I would say that's a 3 ohm coil, and that's what I need to make all this work. And the other thing I wanted to confirm, was this the wire that went over here to the points? Probably not. Jeez Louise. Really struggling here, guys. Okay. So this wire, the plus wire, is the one that went over to the points. Okie doke. I'll turn the ignition on and confirm voltage to this other wire. Let's see here. See if this is a ground maybe. Yeah, we got a ground there. 12.4 volts. Good. Might just go ahead and pop these front 3 off. Tuck that out of the way. And then take a look at this stuff. There we go. It's actually very dry and very clean in there. I'm impressed. Did I need to put electronic ignition in it? No. But I do like the reliability of it. So as long as you don't leave your key on, it is the way to go. And it gives it just a little bit more oomph too on the ignition system than the old points. I actually think the timing might be off just a little bit by the way it's running. And that'll be the next thing to look into. Looks like there might be a cover right here. I've never worked on these Olivers, so I don't know anything about timing or setting the timing or anything on these things, but we'll get it figured out. We're gonna, looks like Dale and them had put a new wire harness on this tractor because it looks newer. So instead of chopping it all up, we're just gonna tuck these wires off to the side here, zip tie them out of the way. Call me a hoarder or whatever you want to do, but I save all these little pieces and the points that come out of these when I put electronic ignition on them. I usually put them in a baggie, label what they go to, and that way if I either get a similar machine in and I'm trying to get it running, I've got some stuff here to work on getting it running with. Or if we leave the key on and we burn the electronic ignition up and it's Sunday and I want to get it going that day, I can go back and get that stuff and get it going. All right, well, that should be all there is to installing the ignition under the cap. And then what we'll do is I will run these wires over here to the coil. I don't like the connectors they send with it. They're just plain old crimp. So I'll get me some connectors and some heat shrink, and then we'll zip tie these up there to that harness. But I can put the cap and rotor back on. Hook those back up, and then I can work on cleaning this up over here. All right, I think I got everything gathered up I need here. So the first thing we'll do is zip tie this stuff up. Well, look how loose that dude is. Oh, shoot, they're all like that. I might have to go through and tighten those up a little bit. Trim the zip ties off. Always trim your zip ties. So the connectors they sent are
actually okay. But I like to use a bare connector and put heat shrink over it. So what I did is I took the connectors that they sent and I pulled the little plastic off of it. And then I come in here and crimp it down. And then I can make sure it's folded over itself real nice. Crimped real tight. No, I don't solder them. And then slide a piece of heat shrink over them. And there you go. Let's try out the new Milwaukee heat gun. Battery powered heat gun. I've been looking for, or been dreaming about one of these for a while, and then I guess Milwaukee finally came out with one. And I have not got to use it yet. And it appears to be doing the trick. Man, that's so much better than dragging out an extension cord. The heat shrink 2 connectors. Or you could just use your lighter and be impatient like I am, and whenever you use the lighter you end up burning the insulation on the wires or singeing something. So this is definitely the better option. Look at that. Just slick as can be. Love it. Alright, now let's see what the old destructions say. Do. Blah-de-blah. Wiring. Resistor, blah blah, 3 ohms. To wire the distributor to a coil, follow the wiring diagrams. The positive from the ignition switch and the red for the points hook to the positive of the coil. That's what they say. That's why I was double checking everything, because before the positive of the coil, or the positive from the ignition, was hooked to the negative of the coil. And I've done a lot of this stuff in the past, and I've looked all that stuff up, and you know, it's been a lot of years since I've been working on a tractor every day, so I don't always remember where this stuff goes. I used to be able to put a John Deere M back together without a parts book too. Hopefully we'll be finding out real soon if I can still do that. Alright, what do you say I back you guys up just a little bit and I'll go hit a button and we'll see if it'll still start. And then we will investigate from there timing. Alright, let's see if it'll still run. Fingers crossed. Well, that's a good sign. See, it did rev up a little bit better that time. I mean, it sounds pretty darn good. I may just leave it be. Yeah, no, I don't know if that's in the accelerating well on the carburetor or if that's timing. Well, the distributor is painted in place. It's actually running pretty good. I don't think I'm going to stress out about the timing a whole lot. I don't know that I could get it any better than what it is. All right, well, that'll be it for this episode. It was getting a little bit stretched out there. I thought I could fit all the repairs of it into one episode, but couldn't quite make it work. So we got the carb and the ignition system done. Coming up next week on the next episode, we will get in and get the brakes finished up. And hopefully by then I'll have the decals too, so we can put some fresh decals on it and get her looking decent so we can take her out to shows and just drive it around for the meantime. So as always, like and subscribe. Doesn't cost you a dime. It'll really help out the channel. And then also, if you don't mind, share it to a friend that might be interested in these old tractors. Till the next time, thanks guys.